Hey there, this is Venkat, and in this video, we will be talking about where and how exactly you should get started with your programming journey. Okay, don't quit this video. It's not a generic advice. I'll share my own experience in this, and it might help you in order to understand or in order to judge whether what you are thinking or what you should start with is similar or not. So I started back in class 6 when I borrowed one class 8 book and I covered fundamentals of Java from there. I quite literally mastered each and every statement of that class 8 Java book because it was just a chapter. But then I felt like, no, I shouldn't stop here. So by the time I reached in class 8, I thought that, I should keep going. So I started off with core Java. Core Java in class 8 was a pretty much bad experience because I thought I would be able to do it, but then there were a lot of jargons filled in that core Java book. So what I did was I completed class 9 and 10 levels Java. I started solving programs side by side, and after completing that in class 8, I started off with core Java once again. Now, what did I do this time? I started making notes in a drawing copy. I'll show you at the end of this video, and I started making notes in that. So I kind of started learning slowly. And since lockdown was there, so all I had to do was to turn off my camera and to do some writing stuff. After that, after completing core Java, of version Java 1.8, I felt like this shouldn't be a stop again because Java 1.8 at that point of time was popular, but then other subsequent versions of Java were out by then. And that is why I learned about the OpenJDK community and the JEPs. So there are a lot of projects and JEPs that are going on in OpenJDK community. You can also check them out with this link. And I read the JEPs, I read the proposals and the enhancement processes, the specification requests, and then I thought, I am quite sound with Java at this point. Alongside, I was also solving problems on Geeks for Geeks and on other coding websites. There was a website named as binarysearch.io, which was eventually shut down. So I used to solve a lot of competitive programming problems on that website. After doing all of that, I came to know about the desktop applications, and then I learned about designing and developing desktop applications with Java as usual, as it's a part of the core programming itself. And then came the backend technologies in my life. I was pretty much fucked up by then. Servlets, JSP, Hibernate, Spring Boot. Learning all of this was a huge mess. So what I did was I followed some resources online. At this point, I have also forgotten the good resources, but Baildung is a good resource for backend programming in Java. It has a lot of resources on Java and Spring Boot, so I think you should give it a follow. After doing that, I mean, the learning curve for backend technologies in Java was quite a steep one. So you need a lot of patience in order to do that. And it took me somewhere around 5 to 6 months of playing, debugging around, and hitting around the bushes in the backend code to understand how things work. And finally, I'm here making backend applications for my agency. So, if you ask what is the best principle to learn in 2024, what is the best learning principle, I would say it is a threefold technique. You see, I started at the very fundamental level. After covering that fundamental level, I went on a level higher than that, intermediate level, where I came to know about core Java, when I came to program desktop applications. And after that, I solved problems alongside the data structures and algorithm problems that were there. And after that, there comes the advanced level, which is I learned about the web services framework, servlets, JSP, JSF, then different databases like SQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and all of this, along with some front end code. And finally, I came across Spring Boot, which I find by far the best thing that I've ever learned. But learning and reaching to that advanced level cannot happen in day one. So you'll have to begin it slowly, you'll have to take it slowly. Even in this year of 2024, or even after this, there I think this threefold learning technique of mastering the first fundamentals, secondly intermediate, and then the advanced layer of any programming language will help you in your future. Also, knowing about programming languages, one programming language in detail is important for your data structures and algorithms, since that exact programming language you should be following throughout your DSA journey. But definitely, there is this quote in programming: be the jack of all trades, master of none, but often better than master of one. So, definitely follow that. And I hope threefold technique will help you a lot in this learning process. You can learn any programming language, it does not matter as of now. Yeah, but obviously, go through the TIOB index. Okay, it basically states what is the popularity of a programming language based on the number of questions asked, and how the community of that particular programming language is. So pretty much that. And I think you know it better that if you want to be a backend developer or a full stack developer, you can either go for the MERN stack or you can also go for Spring Boot. But if you are going for Spring Boot, you should be patient enough to learn it, because MERN stack is basically based on one JavaScript framework. Like it's totally based on one programming language, not a framework, but a programming language, which is JavaScript. But if you are doing with Spring Boot, there are different languages that you deal with. Spring Boot is specifically for backend. Then in the front end, you might use React or Next.js, and in the middleware, in the databases section, you can really go for MongoDB or any kind of database to store your data. That's it. I hope that this Blackbird video helps you a lot finding out your own niche and your own programming language to learn in 2024. This is again a disclaimer that it is my own experience that I'm sharing it with you guys, so that you have a fair idea or a rough idea of how things started off from other programmers' perspective. So till then, till the next video on arrays, keep watching Blackbird videos as always, and thanks for watching this one.